All right, guys, we're back with another one with some tragic news. Multiple people were unalived on a train that crashed in Spain.
We want to turn now to a breaking news development regarding a train collision that happened in Spain early on Monday. Take a look at this, some of the footage that we have gathered from overnight, as we know now that death toll has grown. The Associated Press saying this, that Spanish police say at least 39 people are confirmed dead in a high-speed rail collision the previous night in the south of the country when the tail end of a train jumped the track, causing another train speeding past in the opposite direction to derail. The impact tossed the second train's lead carriages off the track, sending them plummeting down a 4-meter slope or 13-foot slope.
I wonder what, because I saw another news clip that said the trains were on a straightaway. So I'm wondering what made the train derail on a straightaway. And if it was the tail end of the train on a straightaway, how did that happen? And they were just doing repairs on the railway.
Some bodies were found hundreds of meters from the crash site. That's according to the regional president in the area, who described the wreckage as, quote, a mass of twisted metal with bodies likely still to be found inside. Efforts to recover the bodies continued on this Monday, and the death toll is likely to rise. Authorities are also focusing on attending hundreds of distraught families, and their family members have asked them to provide DNA samples to help in the identification of the victims. We have some more footage here just showing the aftermath of that wreckage. Now, the crash occurred on Sunday at 7:45 p.m. when the tail end of the train carrying 289 passengers on the route from Malaga to the capital, Madrid, went off the rails at 7:45 p.m. It slammed into an incoming train traveling from Madrid to Huelva, another southern Spanish city, according to the rail operator. The head of the second train, which was carrying nearly 200 passengers, took the brunt of the impact. That collision knocked its first two carriages off the track, and it appeared the largest number of the deaths occurred in those carriages. Authorities said all of these survivors had been rescued in the early morning, and on Monday morning, emergency services were still searching for the remainder of those bodies. Now, various Spaniards who...
Man, I'm pretty sure there was people just going to work, people going from just place to place, probably on a train, looking at their phone, maybe, some parent with their kid, just doing something, living their everyday life. And it's just over for people. And that's the part that sometimes it's hard to wrap your head around, is that 1 minute you're here and then the next you're not. And, rest in peace to this group of people.
Who had loved ones traveling on the trains posted messages on social media saying they were unaccounted for and pleading for any information in this situation. Video and photos showed twisted train cars lying on their sides under floodlights late on Sundays, and passengers reported climbing out of smashed windows, with some using emergency hammers to break the glass. Authorities said 150.
And if you survive that, there's going to be trauma that you probably just will never get over the rest of your life, and survivor's guilt and all of that stuff.
59 people were injured, and as of Monday, that included 11 adults and 1 child who was still in critical condition. Some more information on this. Now, the collision took place near Adamuz, a town in the province of Córdoba, about 370 kilometers south of Madrid. A sports center in the area was turned into a makeshift hospital, and the Spanish Red Cross set up a help center offering assistance to emergency services and people seeking information. Members of the Civil Guard and Civil Defense worked on the site throughout the day. Spanish King Felipe expressed his condolences on Monday, adding that the royal house was looking into a visit to the area in the coming days. The Spanish flag was flown at half-mast in front of Parliament in Madrid for the victims on Monday. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez will visit the site on Monday, according to his office, and he is expected to also hold a news conference. Those remarks are likely going to be all in Spanish. If there is translation, we'll bring them to you here at Live Now from Fox. But if there's Fears Not, of course, will continue to update on any developments following this story. Again, the latest information is that the death toll has grown. At least 39 people, are confirmed dead in this high-speed rail collision that happened the previous night, so Sunday night, in the south of the country, when the tail end of a train jumped the track, causing another train speeding past in the opposite direction to derail.
Man, that's so sad. You never want to see things like this happen. I hope that the survivors are able to recover any physical injuries they might have had and, the mental scars. Man, I just hope that everything is okay with this. But go ahead and post how you feel down below. I don't know what else to say. Love yourself, trust yourself, honor yourself, and value yourself. Peace.